Welcome to Midnight Signal AI. Today is March 24th, 2026, and we're back with the most important AI news and insight from the last 24 hours. Here's what's coming up. AI agents are getting a voice. There's a new perspective on who will win the enterprise AI race. We'll talk about the hidden cost of AI's thirst for water. And we'll dig into what happens when AI makes life a bit too easy. Plus, etiquette for working with AI, the need for better guardrails, and a look at the growing wealth divide in the age of artificial intelligence. Let's dive in. Our top story: AI agents can now speak, thanks to a project called MCP Server, which was shared on Hacker News. You can check it out at fellowgeek.github.io/mcpspeak. This is a step forward for open-source agent frameworks. MCP lets multiple AI agents talk to each other and to humans in real time using voice. It's not just chatbots anymore. Jamie, what's your take on giving agents a voice?
I think it's a huge deal, Alex. There's something fundamentally different about interacting with an AI through speech versus text. Voice isn't just about convenience. It changes the dynamic, making conversations feel more natural and collaborative. With multiple agents able to talk and listen, we're edging closer to systems that can truly work together, and with us, in complex, high-stakes environments.
Exactly. And there's an accessibility angle here too. Voice interfaces break down barriers for people who can't or don't want to type. But it also raises new challenges. How do we manage the chaos when, say, 5 agents are all talking at once? And what about privacy? Does voice make it easier for agents to accidentally share info they shouldn't?
Those are big questions. I think it's going to require new etiquette, new safeguards, and maybe even new hardware down the road. But overall, this is a sign that the agent ecosystem is maturing fast. We'll be watching to see who picks up this tech and runs with it.
Speaking of the agent ecosystem, let's talk about the broader enterprise AI race. A piece on GitHub's Logo Wiki argues that the enterprise AI race won't be won by whoever has the best model. Instead, it's about integration, workflow, and adoption, how well AI actually fits into real business processes. Jamie, do you buy that?
Absolutely. And it's honestly overdue for the conversation to shift this way. We've obsessed over model benchmarks and leaderboards, but most companies just want tools that solve their actual problems without friction. Whoever nails seamless integration and makes AI feel like an invisible, trusted part of the workflow will win, regardless of whether their model is technically best.
Right, and it's a reminder that the AI arms race isn't always about raw intelligence. Sometimes usability beats IQ. We'll keep an eye on which platforms are actually sticking in the enterprise trenches. On a related note, let's look at the environmental impact of all this AI. Waterlens.ai has published an open dataset tracking what AI companies disclose about their water use. Training and running big AI models takes a surprising amount of water, mostly for cooling massive data centers. Jamie, is this dataset a wake-up call?
It really should be. The energy and water footprint of AI has mostly been hidden behind the scenes, but as these datasets become public, it's going to force some hard conversations. Companies will need to get transparent or risk backlash from regulators and the public. And as the tech scales, these costs only climb.
Agreed. Water isn't infinite, and the regions where data centers are built often face their own shortages. It's another reason to push for more sustainable, efficient AI infrastructure. Switching gears, what happens if AI makes things too easy? There's a great piece up on IEEE Spectrum about the psychology of frictionless AI. The basic argument: if machines do everything for us, do we lose something important, like motivation, skill, or even happiness?
It's a subtle but real risk. Friction, having to struggle a bit, can actually make achievements feel meaningful. If AI smooths out every bump, we might end up bored, disengaged, or even less capable over time. The challenge is designing AI that helps, but doesn't erase all the value that comes from effort.
Exactly. It's a design problem as much as a philosophical one. AI should empower us, not turn us into passive bystanders. Definitely a trend worth following as these systems get more powerful and pervasive. Now for something practical. AI etiquette. There's a blog post making the rounds, greenpants.net/AI etiquette, on what's polite and effective when interacting with AI systems. Jamie, what stood out to you from this piece?
I liked how it emphasized being clear and concise, but also treating AIs with a baseline of respect. Even though they're not sentient, how we interact with them sets the tone for how we use the tech. And as agents become more autonomous, etiquette could help avoid misunderstandings or unintended outcomes.
It's almost like teaching people how to talk to a new colleague, one who happens to be a machine. As AIs get more embedded in daily life, etiquette may become a real differentiator in how smoothly things run. Let's keep with the agent theme. Eric.Mann's blog tackles what he calls the agentic harness problem, the idea that AI agents need better guardrails than just code reviews. As agents get more power and autonomy, code reviews aren't enough to prevent risky behavior. Jamie, what's the solution?
Mann argues for a more robust system of checks, essentially building oversight and constraints right into the agent's environment. Think of it like a safety harness for climbing. Even if the climber makes a mistake, the harness catches them. For AI, that could mean runtime monitoring, permissioning, or even real-time human oversight. It's a shift from trusting code to trusting systems.
And it feels urgent. As agents start taking real-world actions, making purchases, updating databases, or even controlling machines, the cost of mistakes goes up. Better guardrails aren't just a nice-to-have. They're going to be essential. Now, let's zoom out to the big picture. BlackRock CEO Larry Fink, as reported by The Guardian, is warning that the AI boom could widen the global wealth divide. The concern is that companies and regions with access to AI will pull further ahead, leaving others behind. Jamie, what do you make of this warning?
It's a valid concern. AI compounds existing inequalities. It's expensive to build, requires scarce talent, and delivers outsized returns to those who deploy it first. If we're not careful, we could see a world where a handful of companies and countries own the future, while everyone else scrambles to catch up. Policy, education, and access are going to be critical levers here.
Right. The next few years will determine whether AI is a tide that lifts all boats or just the yachts. We'll be tracking who's working to close this gap and who's widening it.
Staying on economics for a second, there's a thought-provoking piece on unlocked value about AI token economics and what NVIDIA's Jensen Huang is building. The argument is that beyond hardware, NVIDIA is quietly laying the groundwork for a new kind of AI-powered digital economy. Jamie, how do you see this playing out?
It's fascinating. The idea is that as AI workloads proliferate, we'll need new ways to allocate resources, establish value, and even incentivize innovation. Token-based systems could be one answer. Think of it as micropayments for compute or reputation scores for reliable agents. If NVIDIA can shape those rails, they'll control more than just the chips. They'll control the flow of digital value itself.
It's a reminder that the real AI race might not just be about who has the smartest models, but who owns the infrastructure and the economic rules that come with it. Before we wrap up, let's touch on a story from Axios about the so-called AI agent arms race. The article highlights how companies like NVIDIA, Anthropic, and Perplexity are all racing to roll out more capable, autonomous agents. Jamie, does this feel like a turning point?
It does. We're seeing a shift from AI as a back-end tool to AI as an active participant. Agents that can take initiative, collaborate, and even compete. The stakes are high. Whoever builds the best agent frameworks could set standards for years to come. But it also means the pace of change is only going to accelerate.
And with that acceleration comes all the challenges we talked about today: guardrails, access, environmental impact, and more. The agent era is here, and it's moving fast. That's our show for March 24th, 2026. We covered AI agents finding their voice, the real battle for enterprise AI, the cost of water, the psychology of frictional tech, etiquette, guardrails, and the economic chess game playing out behind the scenes. Thanks for tuning in to Midnight Signal AI. Until next time, keep building, keep questioning.